Usually, I'm not the type to say your top 5 for more intelligence and wealth here in 2 minutes, or these super simplified summaries without asking why this works now exactly like this. But when it comes to the question, what should you definitely take away from your undergraduate or in general research seminar, then I must honestly say a simple answer is enough. A core principle that you have to understand in your studies. Validity. There are 2 types of validity, internal and external. Internal validity is about cause and effect. I take a bite of a rotten apple and I have a stomach ache afterwards. I drank too much alcohol and then lie on the floor while everything is spinning. You wouldn't wonder about those relationships. These are now rather everyday examples, but ultimately the apple is only a variable that I have changed, once rotten and once not. In some experiments we also might find no relationship at all. In science, I can also look at the cause and effect relationship of lack of sleep in regards to concentration, or if people learn better if they see an animation or another human being. What I like about internal validity so much, all scientific experiments and findings have to prove it and provide it. The effectiveness of a new drug, just like our rotten apple, in regards to stomach aches. As soon as I'm changing a thing, or more precisely, as soon as I change the independent variable, for instance in a scientific experiment, these changes must be the reason for an effect. Up next, external validity. Basically, it just means that what we have found can be generalized. It could be applied to other situations, target groups, or maybe time periods. From this sentence, we can derive an order. What we have found can be generalized. So there must be internal validity in order for external validity to exist. In other words, I cannot generalize if I have not found an effect. In addition, and really important, the term validity also appears in connection with so-called quality criteria. But that is not what we mean here. It is a bit unfortunate, but that is how the terms are used. If you have looked this far, you either need to know the difference between internal and external for tomorrow's seminar, or you're screaming at your device because I claim that you only need this basic principle. Not so easy, obviously. Of course, we can talk about measurement validity, the Hawthorne effect, ATE coefficients, and quasi-experiments. In a research seminar of social science and economics faculties, you will find those terms in your discussions and term papers. But what I rather see is that all these keywords appear together in the first lecture without telling students why you need those exactly. And let's face it, most students will not stay in academia, aka stay at the university. I prefer that everyone leaves their studies with the very same understanding of validity than being able to calculate a linear regression with some demo values in a random stats software. And again, you need it, it is important, but in my opinion, it is better to try your own projects, your own data collection in a small research project instead of learning it by heart from the slides. I learned this myself only when I was working on the dataset for my master thesis, and of course, that is anecdotal evidence and therefore not generalizable, obviously. All right, before I really start ranting, let's end here. Below are some follow-up questions I ask myself in very set seminar. With that, Gute out and until the next video.